Yo, guys, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of the Altcoin Bosses. Now, if you are new to the channel, welcome to Traders Reality. I'm your host, Tino. So let's have a conversation, guys. So today we're going to do something a little bit different, okay? I've been spending a little bit of time on the Glassnode. Now, Glassnode just takes in the on-chain analytics as such regarding various coins. Now, I always look at this in relation to Bitcoin itself, all right? But today, we're going to just dive into some altcoins that we can pull information from using the Glassnode, and we can get some information to understand certain moves that happen in the altcoins. Maybe we can refer to this information so that we can understand and justify the price action with regards to all these altcoins that are making moves. Now, let's roll over to the altcoin bosses right here, and let's just flip out the top performers. I mean, oh my days, Gala just pulling out some madness right now. I need to actually look at Gala for a second. Here we go. Nice little break to the upside. They did exactly just that. If you watched last night's stream, we had that conversation that they were going to consolidate at this point and make the breakaway towards the 50 cents zone, and they've done that and completely smashed the range. They did exactly the same here, all right? And we were talking about it last night, and this would be the second attempt to the upside. Market makers like to move in 3 cycles: rise 1, retrace, rise 2, retrace, rise 3, peak formation, bring it back down to reset the intention and start all over again, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Gala has done a fantastic job right there. Let's start off with Gala. Let's see if we can actually get this coin in terms of the on-chain. No, it's not available for us. We can't actually take advantage of anything in regards to Gala itself. It's not actually listed on here as anything, so I can't really look at Gala at all unless I'm looking at this wrong. Well, no, it's not available. It should be available given that the ERC20 tokens are there. Never mind. Let's actually start off with crypto.com. All right, I can't believe Gala, man. What a coin. Okay then, where's Crow? Here we are. So, Crow has just seen mad movements to the upside, ladies and gentlemen, narrowly missing the $1 mark, man, 97 cents, and it's now pulled back quite aggressively. However, the pullback is now followed by a bounce off the 50 EMA and now trying to come back up. It is at the range daily high, but it's now pulled away. Now, in relation to the on-chain analytics, some aspects of this with regards to this coin, you know, it's pretty interesting when you look at it, all right? Now, I'm looking at right now the Mvt Signal, this is a modified version of the original Mvt ratio. Now, that was created by Willy Woo, my guy. Cool guy. All right. And it takes dividing the market cap by the transferred on-chain volume measured in US dollars. Okay. So the principle would say that when lots of volume comes into the coin, all right, the metric would imply that it's going to rise. But that wasn't the case straight away with Crow. All right. Now, when you look at it from an Mvt Signal, all right, you can see in the segments of the chart itself where price was. So if you look, you can see the white line right here is price itself. And you can see as it starts to rise up in this zone right here, we see a spike in price, volumes increasing. Same again in this zone, but price doesn't really go anywhere. So there is a lot of accumulation in this coin. All right. Same again, we do see a lot of transactional volume right here, but not as much as what we would see here, yet price actually did start to rise in that instance. Okay. Comes back down again, and we've seen a dry up. But price starts to rise, but then it starts to pull back, which reflects in the actual dry up of the volume right here. Okay, transactional volume. Then all of a sudden, prior to this big move to the upside, guys, all right, so if I just mark it off like that, just so you can clearly see. Prior to the volume coming in, all right, sorry, the movement of price, you can see that the transactions were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so from July, you could see that they're actually shifting out, all right. Price has made an explosive move to the upside, as you can see. Yeah. So where are we at right now? Because this is saying that this could act as a leading indicator. So we dive straight into what's going on lately. All right. Price is currently at the 91 cents zone. All right. It's different, of course, on on TradingView. And this gets updated every 24 hours. And if you... Yeah, it's every day. I think I can get the hourly. No, I can't get the hourly. I've currently got the advanced. All right. But you can see that volume is starting to drop off. So the transactions aren't as much as we would expect them to be, given that price has actually made a move to the upside. All right. So how can we use this information regarding Crow? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's just to give you an idea as to how to really work out if a coin's going to move or not. Now, let's take Crow in, for instance. We've got the Staples Center being renamed as Crypto.com. That was a $700 million contract. Naturally, that's going to improve the actual coin itself. There's money coming into the business. That gives them more room to do things. Popularity, people using Crypto.com now. All right? It's like Crypto.com all of a sudden have knocked Coinbase off the chart. All right? And this is where the volatility of the move has come in. But what we need to try and understand is why, when we saw all this transactional volume happening over here since July up until October, all right, why was price only rising ever so slightly, even pulling back, as you can see down here, started to pull back, right? And then all of a sudden, less transactional volume, it then starts to move higher, all right? So in other words, could they actually pull price back quite aggressively and then, reset this range that it's actually traveled to? Now, this is my first time looking into this kind of thing, guys. So I'm just trying to bring it to another level for you guys, just to add that other bit of confluence in your analysis for when you're looking at coins. But this is something that's got my attention. Velocity. All right? Velocity is a measure of how quickly units are circulating in the network and is calculated by dividing the on-chain transactional volume in US dollar by market cap. All right, which is the inverse of the Mvt ratio. Now, velocity is quite important now, because look, for every big spike in velocity, all right, so a lot of transactions happening, price does something with it. There's a little pump, rises ever so slightly. One big move up there, rises up. We've got one massive pump of velocity right here. Price rises up ever so slightly. They do again right here, and then one here, and then one here, which then relates to price moving upwards. So what can we get from this? Well, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, we could make the assumption that if this chart presents to us big pumps in velocity in relation to the on-chain transactional volume, all right, against the market cap itself, then possibly we could assume that price is going to rise from that point. Okay? That's just throwing it out there. Possibility. You can see velocity is coming in again here and here. Then price actually makes the move to the upside. So if we look from this point right here, when the velocity came in, price was at 13 cents. It made a move to the upside, finalized at 52 cents with another pump in velocity. And then bang, they moved up to 91 cents. So that's something for us to consider. All right. Looking at other categories, the addresses, the ratios, the market itself, market cap, no, I'm not interested in that. Any ratios, that's the one that we just looked at. Could look at volume. No, not interested in that. I'm going to flip to another coin. Another coin, Decentraland, Mana. Okay then, so this looks at things, look at this. This is different, all right? Same thing. We've got the Mvt ratio, all right, where there was a lot of accumulation in this area here, all right? So the transferred volume, on-chain volume measured in USDT and divided by the market cap. And you can see that they've been busy with this coin in this area, all right? Then it starts to dry off in this area here, but price still starts to rise. So could this rise in price be the result of this behavior over here? Now we're starting to see some interesting behavior here because they've accumulated in this area here. And then, of course, with the adoption of what's going on with Decentraland and gaming in crypto, price has shifted out of the zone. Mad move to the upside. Dropping into the velocity chart again. A lot of velocity. So you can see how it was building up. Price was at its lowest point right here, building up, making big moves in this area behind the scenes based on the transactional volume, all right? Starts to rise. And then we see another velocity pump here and here. And then it's starting to rise. And then we get these big pumps in velocity right here. And then the result of that leads price to move higher. Now, guys, like, this is new to me. All right. I'm just, as I said, I'm just trying to bring some flavor to your analysis. All right, I may be right, I may be wrong in actually translating this information. But there are probably people out there that know how to break down the Glassnode, and they can get some information off this to really apply it to their day trading. All right. Looking at the actual chart itself for Mana. Let's roll out for Mana. Nice move to the upside today. Great move to the upside. We were waiting for $5 in the Asian session from last night, which was in this zone right here. Last night we said $5 for Mana. It was looking to come back up to recover this previous pool of liquidity right here. Looking on the daily time frame, was waiting for them to come back up and recover the previous wick. And guess what? They did it. Why? Because there was the imbalance in the chart, ladies and gentlemen. They came back to the imbalance in the chart itself. Now, the imbalance was what? A few days ago. Well, more than a few days ago. All right, so the 1st of November, 30th of October. That's when the imbalance started, and then the second imbalance came in the next day. But they've recovered that whole move. Go watch last night's stream, man. There was a reason why this happened, because they're following with the intention. The momentum is there in the coin. All right, when you drop down to the lower time frames, you can see bright as day. As long as they keep above the 50 EMA and the 5 and the 13 EMA, always stay below price. All right. You've got happy days movement to the upside. Look, they just completely blew the zone out. Now, this is a key thing, guys. If you are looking at a coin where the range daily high and the range daily low are very close to each other, 9 times out of 10, the coin is going to break beyond the range daily high or the range daily low, because it's not going to stay contained in that range. It's just because they consolidated and kept price within a certain range, and the reflection of the range daily high and range daily low is based on the last high and the last low from the previous session. So you can see that it was quite a small session yesterday. All right. Then you had today and they shift out. Wonderful price action. Yeah. Another coin that we could actually look at on here is Fetch AI. No, not Fetch AI. One that's been actually making some moves. Have we got it? LRC. Loopring. There we go. Okay, so Loopring. Again, velocity. Pumps at the start, and then just frequent little pushes in velocity with the transactional volume. We start to see a lot more happening in here, and then they move up, and they do it again in this zone, and then they made a big spike up here on this 0.6 velocity, and then price makes the high, comes back down, and then they just made a massive amount of changes in this zone, lots of transactional volume in this area, and then price is shifting out. All right? Just another way of looking at things, ladies and gentlemen. It's the best way for it. Okay? Looking at the dashboards. All right, this is, of course, for Bitcoin. But I'm going to roll on to Ethereum. Here we go. Core on chain. So we understand that when Ethereum moves, the altcoins tend to move as well. All right? But what I want to look for with Ethereum is no, we're not going to look at that. Workbenches. No, they haven't got it. I'm new to this on Glassnode. So far with the Bitcoin one, pretty much understand how to translate the information off Bitcoin price temperature. So that's really good right there. And of course, the net unrealized profits, which is a good little indication as to where and what is price, or should I say what are traders and holders feeling based on the way Bitcoin is behaving right now. So you've heard me probably speak about this in the charts. Are we starting to change color there? No, nearly changing color maybe. All right. So just looking at all the altcoins across the board, okay, you can see Bitcoin hasn't done much, Ethereum hasn't done much, but the winners seem to be the gaming coins. Again, Sands, $7.50, gone beyond that and came back down. $8 tapped and pulled back. All right. Great movement to the upside, and they fulfilled the pattern from yesterday. Rise, retrace, continuation up. So it's really good. Now, be mindful with this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Coins now that are making massive gains, all right, they will have a tendency to pull back quite sharply. So just be careful getting involved in alts now that are actually making all-time highs. What you want to do is just simply go back into the charts and look at the coins that are pulling back. So Loopring, that's pulling back now. So it looks like Sand and Gala have had their time and they've made their move to the upside. So if you cross-reference both Loopring and Gala, okay, this is what you get. So there's Loopring right there. And then we're going to have a look at Gala right here. All right. So whilst Loopring was making a move to the upside, okay, in the previous session here, Gala was consolidating. All right. Now Loopring's consolidating, Gala is moving. So this is what I'm trying to establish. They actually do decide to move money from one coin to the next. All right. And you've seen that. You see many coins that have been pulling back to the 50 EMA. Yesterday, Gala was pulling back and trading negative. We still had to look at it. Why? Because we know that if the move in Gala has got strength, on the pullback, they will start to accumulate and then they will then make another shift out of the zone. Quite frankly, you've got yourself the perfect W formation pattern right here. You've got the rise, retrace, continuation up. And inside of this, you can see that there is a mini W formation in this range holding at the 50 EMA and bouncing away from that zone. Now, what do we expect Gala to do? Are we going to see it pull back ever so slightly whilst they move Loopring into a certain range? Then when they decide to move Loopring into a range, Gala may make the continuation and bounce away from the 5 or the 13 EMA. It's all about what point do they decide to move Gala from where it is now against where Loopring is right now. In other words, when you're looking for altcoins or trying to establish a direction in particular altcoins, always come to the chart or your watch list and try and take the coins that are pulling back. All right? Because if we look at it from face value, we say, look, AMP's dropping down 14%, Solo's down 13%, render tokens dropping. All right, RX is dropping as well. I'm not interested in all these red coins. These are losing coins. I'm not happy with that kind of thing. All right. Well, if you hadn't have come to this chart right here, you wouldn't have noticed that Loopring is actually showing support at the 50 EMA, which could imply that if you were to actually take a potential trade on Loopring, okay, what if you are actually now getting ready to witness another move to the upside where based on this 50 EMA holding at this point right now for Loopring to continue higher? You may not have noticed it because if you're focusing on coins that are making highs or showing strong gains on your watch list, and you're paying it, I mean, look, you look at Sunday and you think, yeah, baby, look at that. It's a great move to the upside. Cool. I'm going to wait for it to pull back. Okay. And then I'm going to see if I can try and catch it on the retrace continuation to the upside. Well, why don't you just look at what's actively doing that right now? Because if this move to the upside is valid, then the retrace continuation is going to continue. Now, if you look, you can see that we've got ourselves a big W formation that Loopring is currently trying to come away from. They've made the breakaway. Now we've got the retrace. The continuation will see Loopring come up all the way towards $4. As long as the 50 EMA contains this point and shows support, happy days. Yeah? Another coin, CRV. What's that doing? This is actually performing strong. I don't understand why it's doing that. Luna. Now, Luna's pulling back quite aggressively. All right. So when you've got a coin that is actually bleeding out and dropping down, you've got the previous pool of accumulation in this zone. So you would expect them to actually tap this pool of liquidity here and then try and create the same accumulation zone to the right of the chart. So I wouldn't focus so much on Luna for the time being. All right. Chromium. Chromia. Again, break below the 5, the 50, the 200 EMA. It's gone beyond its range. I'm not going to pay attention to this. Although you could actually exploit the retrace to the 50 EMA. And if the assumption is there that they're going to continue down lower, you could take advantage of price retracing back and then continue into the downside to tap these pools of liquidity and potentially show support at the 800 EMA, which when it did that last time, it actually bounced quite aggressively from the zone. All right. Another coin, VET. Let's see what VET's doing. See, same again. A lot of altcoins are just bleeding from their all-time highs. All right, so we've got to be mindful of that. HNT. Here we go. What have we got there? Okay, so it looks like we're stabilizing. It's sort of copying Bitcoin's behavior when it's ranging out in one place. The 200 EMA is near enough flat. The 800 is working on being flat. So we may be seeing them contain price in this range and the moving averages will come together and then we will get an expansion away from either direction, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. All right. So looking down, Holo. Okay, so here we go. Although it is trading down 5% for the session, you can see it's now in between the 50, 200 and the 800 EMA. All right. Zooming out, it does look like we are just coming down to just stabilize at the 200, 800 EMA in preparation for another move to the upside because there's not that much liquidity down here as opposed to where there is up here, which then takes me over to the next coin. all right, which is Solana. Where's Solana? Let me go back to my main watch list. Here we go. Where is it? There it is there. Solana again. Now Solana has broken below the 800 EMA, and it always tends to do something interesting at that zone. However, be mindful. Look at the pattern in Solana right now. The 200 and the 50 and the 800 are near enough flat, and there's no expansion. So price is just taking its own direction. Okay? But you can't dismiss it, because look, there is a pattern forming. All they need to do is contain Solana and just drift ever so slightly to the upside. They've deviated away from the 50 EMA. So now we could see Solana actually drifting back up. Given the fact that it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, all right, the markets will be closed. Yes, you can trade cryptocurrency, but we are going to be down a pool of liquidity. Some of your exchanges and any platform providers for your trading have probably notified you about market closures tomorrow. So just be mindful of that. All right. So I'm not going to keep you too long, guys. These videos are quite long, but I do hope that they do provide you with any information regarding trying to work out whether or not a coin's going to make a move to the upside. I mean, I'm trying to work out, using the glass node as a means to break down any metrics from any altcoins, and if we can take advantage of anything that is being presented right here. Because, guys, at the end of the day, we will never know exactly where price is going to go next. All right. All we can do is just improve the chances of it going in our favored direction by considering the price action itself, understanding the hybrid system, and of course, anything from the glass node that may serve us. All right. So, guys, if you are new to the channel and you do want to use these indicators, check the Traders Reality website. The link is attached in the description. Go there and you can download everything that you need. All right. And you can upload it into TradingView with all of these indicators like the volumes and the actual TDIs as well. And there is a playlist in the channel which tells you how to use these indicators. All right. It's called Understanding the Hybrid. That's also in the website. All right. Mad love and respect to all of you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I will be speaking to you later on. Peace.